I'm Zay, and this is Grit City Punk.
Jiggle Down Productions.
Welcome back to Grit City Punk, Tacoma's underground music and variety show focusing on punk and hardcore and other alternative music scenes in the Pacific Northwest. How you doing? I'm Jeremy. I'm your host. And we're late. We're really late. It's Friday. This show was supposed to be out on Monday, but, things happen. Life happens. And we're getting through it. We've got a cool show. Zay from Puget Scene Report's PSR is my interview today. I met him in a parking lot and we just literally recorded right there in the parking lot. So I apologize if the audio is a little wonky, if there's some background noises. It's not the sound quality that I usually have on the show. I did manage to get video out of it, which I will probably release in a few days. A nice video interview, Grit City Punk style. So what's been going on? A lot. Things are busy. Things are hectic. Things are crazy. That's why the show is delayed. But we're rolling along. Just life stuff, personal stuff, work stuff, family stuff sometimes gets to be a lot. But as far as me and the music scene, what's been happening the last, 2.5 weeks now at this point. Holy shit, guys. Summer of Discontent tour. Bad Religion and Dropkick Murphys. That went down. And man, what an amazing show at Point Ruston, Dune Peninsula Park. I guess only the second concert, maybe third or fourth concert ever there. Really cool. I just cannot even express how much I love both those bands. And they both put on amazing shows. The mainliners were also there, who I was not familiar with, but they put on a great set. And just as important as the actual sets from the bands themselves, the vibe and the people at the concert is just as important. And there were some great people there. I saw Zay, Ellery Ann Carter from PSR. I took my boys with me. Joey ran into Courtney, spent some time in the pit with her. What's up, Courtney? Sorry I missed you. But my old ass ain't going in a pit. And I got to spend pretty much the whole time with the Caps Lock crew, Trash, Lindy, and Cass. We got to watch the whole Dropkick set together, and that was great. Really good time. This past weekend, well, I guess it would have been the 1st and the 2nd of August. I'm sure you remember me talking about it a lot. At Slice of Life Pizza on August 1st was the Grit City Punk Rock Show Volume 2, which was so good and so fun. Thank you to everybody who came out for that. It was such a great time. All the bands were amazing. The energy was really great. Thanks to Joe from Slice of Life for letting me book that there. Thank you to Carol from Star Matriarch for helping me with the organizing and the booking and everything. So first up was Star Matriarch. Carol was doing a solo set with a backing track. So a little different. She sang her heart out, put on just an amazing set. Really cathartic, really good. Next up was Life Rips. Man, what a fun band to see. Absolute, Ramones core, just 1, 2, 3, 4, let's go, boom, song, boom, it's out, next song, in, next, out, so fast, so fun. And then I, myself, Jeremy, played an acoustic set, a little surprise, the bands in the venue knew it was coming, but I didn't put it on the flyer, but I played an acoustic set, played 4 songs. It was the first time I was on stage performing in over 20 years, so that was something special. And I think I did pretty good. There's videos of it out there. I'll put up all the videos from the show shortly on YouTube. And if you're curious about my original music, you can check it out at graynoterecords.bandcamp.com. I've got a ton of stuff from a long time ago and some stuff from recently on there. So go check that out. I'm not going to spend too much time on the show promoting my own music because I don't think that's the platform for it. And then Fia Lane from Right Utopia Experiment, she did an acoustic set right after me, and oh my God, this kid is amazing. I want to see more acoustic sets. So, Fia, if you're listening, play more acoustic sets because, oh my gosh, it blew me away. And then we closed out the night with Liability, who just absolutely tore it up. Played an amazing, amazing set. So fast, so thrashy, just, man. And then on August 2nd, at the 11th Street DIY was PSR's very first show booking, Fever Dream on 11th Street. They had also a killer lineup. Primal Beast, whom I had not seen before or really heard before, but I enjoyed them a lot. Their set was really cool. Margaret Sick, who we all know and love, they played an awesome set. Petra from Bay Area, California. It's a two-piece. They started off with an acoustic song. It was nighttime by that point, and nothing was plugged in. They literally just played an acoustic guitar and a dobro, and it was just this really cool Americana kind of song. I didn't know anything about this band. I thought that was going to be their set. They were going to keep doing that, which I'm totally down for. But no, they then plugged in an electric guitar, and the other guy went on the drums, and they fucking rocked. They were so heavy and so weird. It was almost like more of a theatrical performance than a rock concert, which was interesting and fun. I like it. So Petra, if they're ever around again, make sure you go see them. And then Concrete Island closed out the night with a really intense set. And also there was another surprise performance by myself. Jiggles is what I released music under. I played a little bit longer of an acoustic set. Yeah, so thanks for everybody for showing up to that. That was Zay and Carter's first show, and I think they absolutely crushed it. Attendance was really good, and the bands all did amazing. Aside from taking a little extra time to get things going, not a single problem the whole night. And what else has been going on? Completely unrelated. Hayley Williams of Paramore surprise dropped 17 songs. Not an album, but it's just 17 songs. And damn, they're good. I recommend going to check those out. The project, it's kind of like a loose project of songs, kind of unofficially called Ego. Yeah, great songs. Exactly what I want to hear from Hayley at this point. But hey, some local music came out too. So maybe we should just stop with the yammering and get to the local music that came out because it's pretty exciting. All right, local new music breakdown. Here we go. First up, we got to talk about Stump. Remember Stump? Last episode, or maybe the episode before, I played a song from Jack from Stargazy Pie. He has been working on a little bit of solo stuff under the name Stump. He released 3 songs before, and he just released one last week. It's called Inside Looking Out. It's only available on SoundCloud. I'll drop the link in the show notes. I'm really digging this solo acoustic stuff from Jack. I like the direction he's going with it, and I'd like to hear an entire project of it. So check this out. This is called Inside Looking Out.
Am I how I'm perceived? Do I have agency of the man that I've become? Are there eyes I can't outrun? Could I sum it up in a word if I measure what I confer? Faces passing by in my fishbowl of a life. I'm on the inside looking out. I'm on the inside looking out. My split personality is a cognitive fallacy, so I gather every thought, try to tie it in a knot. There are infinite sides of me that I guess I won't ever reach. No two seem the same, and it's driving me insane. I'm on the inside looking out. I'm on the inside looking out.
Next up, the band Coffin, who you may know, I hope you know. They have been around since like the late 80s. They put out a few projects in the early 90s. They never got really big, but kind of just locally, they were pretty notorious. So they're back now. They've been playing shows for, I don't know, maybe the better part of a year or two now. And they just dropped a whole brand new album. It's only kind of new. Almost all of the songs are previously released songs, but they've re-recorded them. So just kind of updating, re-recording songs that they had released 30 years ago now at this point. I believe there's one or two new songs on the project. It's called Revival, and you can buy it on CD or vinyl, and it's streaming everywhere. Go check it out. Coffin Break is really good, and I'm glad they're back. This song is called World. It's from their album Revival. Next up, band called Give Me the Money has dropped a new single called Kill Me Again. Really wild, almost industrial kind of metal. These guys are kind of all over the place. I'm liking what I'm hearing so far. I don't think they have a whole lot out, but this one you should definitely check out. It's called Kill Me Again from Give Me the Money.
Hey!
Next up, Portland band Berzerk, also a band that's been around for a long time. They just dropped a new single, and it's a cover of a Youth of Today song called Disengage. Love Youth of Today. And so far, I'm loving these guys. Berzerk from Portland, really cool. I guess this song was actually recorded many years ago, but they just released it last week. It's on Bandcamp. You can go get it there, support the band, and check out their sick-ass Youth of Today cover. Next up, Sunbather Die has released their second single now. It's called Unclean. There is also a video for it. You can go check that out on YouTube. And I believe this is on Bandcamp as well, so go support the band, buy stuff on Bandcamp, check out Sunbather Die, their song Unclean. Tacoma band Velvet has finally released their first single. I believe many episodes ago, I actually mentioned that they had some music coming up. They ran into some problems, had to re-record, and it's finally out now. Their first single. The single is called Christopher. This is Velvet, whom if you have not seen, please go see them. They play Real Art a lot. They've been up to Seattle to play. Really talented band. You should really go check them out if you get the chance to. And lastly, Seattle band Shamebanger just put out a new single called Challenges. Maybe unintentionally, ironically, as the name suggests, they are challenging the music industry by pulling all of their music off from every streaming service. And they are only on Bandcamp now at this point, which is a ballsy move. It's a risky move, and it's a great form of protest, and I 100% stand behind their choice to do that. It does make it inconvenient for people to hear their music, but, you know, sometimes you gotta do things that are inconvenient. You gotta step out of your comfort zone and figure out new ways of doing things sometimes. I'm actually kind of working on formulating some words for that for my blog. Hopefully that'll be up sometime soon. But just involving the whole Spotify protest and a lot of people within the scene and just within the underground music scene globally, kind of starting to make a push away from streaming services and trying to figure out a new paradigm for existing and for putting your music out. It should be really interesting to see how all this goes down and what's going to happen over the next several years with streaming music and just how bands come up with ways to reach their audience and let their music be heard. I am all for it. Never been a fan of streaming services. Yes, it is convenient. I understand that, but sometimes it's not always good, especially when the companies are fucking everybody over. But this is neither here nor there. Well, it is kind of here and there. But the point of it is to say that Shamebanger dropped a new single. They dropped it on Bandcamp only, where you can find all their music. Go support them, please. Drop a few bucks on their digital music. They've got a full length and a handful of singles. But this single is called Challenges, and it just came out, and I'm yammering again. So just check out the song, and then go throw them some money on Bandcamp. Who are you, and what do you do?
Well, I'm Zay from Puget Scene Report. We do kind of what you do, but we interview like whole bands.
As opposed to my bands that are not cool.
Well, no, I said full bands. I said full.
No, bands.
We do cooler bands.
Right out the gate, you're dissing me.
No, I think we interview quite a bit of the same people.
We've had some crossover,
Some crossover. I'm still working on trying to get Kapala down.
They're hard to nail down.
They are, and that's copping the merch.
I love that leopard print.
I know, I do too.
Yeah, they didn't have that when I bought my shirt, and I was kind of mad.
But I think I bought the last one, or they only had one of them. So I was very, very lucky to have mine. No, we do band interviews. We try going into their studios. We kind of go into their place, and that started with interviewing No Nerve, who is I would describe them as this indie jazz rock fusion band.
Yeah.
Genuinely really great. They're working on music right now. I can't say too much. But once they have that out, I will be interviewing them.
Nice.
Oh yeah, I also do it with my editor Carter, who this is actually his brainchild.
Okay.
But he had the idea because we were getting into the scene. This was March of last year, and he's like, "Yeah, well, since we go see all these things, like maybe we could like interview them." And I'm like, "Oh, wait a minute, that's a good idea." And I was like, I could do it, right? Because I have struggled with anxiety my whole life. So I was like, I can help myself, kind of get out of that. And I did. And now I do this. And I go and I talk to people all the time. If you see me at a show, I'm going to be annoying to you. I'm like, oh, wow.
Yeah.
Dude, good. Great stuff in the pit. Like, it's like, okay, what's this guy? Why is he talking to me? Yeah.
That's funny that you say that, because I struggle with like social anxiety and stuff too. And I found that ever since I started going to shows and like purposefully, like intentionally putting myself in a position where I'm going to be talking to people and like approaching people, it becomes easier. And I've been able to like overcome the, awkwardness a lot. I mean, I'm still awkward as fuck. I'm still obnoxious, but
yeah, me too. I think,
but it's easier.
Yeah, I think that's like kind of what you have to be. You have to be obnoxious to be press, right? Because it's no unobnoxious person's gonna like approach you. Like,
I was obnoxious before I was press.
Yeah, I was too.
That's what naturally led me to doing it.
I think that's what made me kind of want to do it as well. That
Right.
and the like, I'm like, okay, can I just like be only obnoxious and not anxious? Like, can we try that out?
Just focus your obnoxiousness and your anxiousness into a vehicle to to drive your creative force at the same time.
Yeah. Wait, now that I think of it, did we already release the right to this one? Because I know we released a clip. Okay. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Because we released a clip.
That was a
I
long
know
time
that.
ago,
I know. Yeah. Okay. And then after that, there should be Politician's Eyes, which that's. Oh, I don't know if that one's my favorite interview. I think it might be. Because I'm friends with Anthony, the lead singer. He's really cool. Rest of the band, the other two guys are great.
I thought you were going to say their dicks, but
no, they suck.
Okay, yeah.
No, I didn't, get to interact with them too much outside of the interview. It was kind of like an interview, and then we're out.
Right.
That's just because it was a longer one. But no, it was really great. We got to do a satire in the beginning. We got to like kind of be dicks to each other. That was like the fun part. There's like this clip where we're walking in, and I'm like, okay, they don't know we're here yet, whatever it is, and I open the door, and then their bassist, and I'm blanking on names today. I couldn't even name Les Claypool today. We were talking about that. So, and he yells, and he's like, "Get the fuck out! Get the fuck out!" And I didn't realize it was satire for a second. I don't know why.
Yeah.
I had planned that. That was a staged thing. And I was like, oh no. And then it like cuts to the interview, and it's this whole thing. It's really fun. The clip we released for that is just us screaming. And that was kind of like what the energy that we brought. It was this really fun, stupid thing that we do. I don't know.
Yeah.
I genuinely, love what I do. I think it's the best.
It's fun. I enjoy what you do. So how did you get into the scene?
Okay, well, again, to Carter, I have to credit Carter for a lot of this.
Okay.
I don't know if he would want to do an interview. He is usually behind the camera because he likes being behind the camera. But he really liked the Gins, and I was like, okay, yeah. I was like really into grunge at the time. I'm still into grunge. Not too much. I like Alice in Chains. I love Alice in Chains. That's about as much grunge as I listen to now. And even then, it's not a lot. I got really into straight edge. I think I've talked to you about that.
Mm-hmm.
I am straight edge. I'm very vocal about that. There are two things I talk about the most. It's Snot, the band, and straight edge. That's that's what it is right now. Anyways, he's like, yeah, no, I really like the Gins, and they're live here. And I think it was like one of his friends canceled on him. And I was like, okay, yeah, cool. And we go there. Whoa, okay. Openers were Give Me the Money. That was an interesting experience as my first underground show. I would consider it kind of underground. They're an underground band. And I was like, what is going on? Why is there only a bass and drums? Why are there a bunch of pedals? And that was kind of like my intro to the punk scene. And then Black Ends played. I love Black Ends.
Yeah.
I wish our interview with them did better view-wise, because I really liked it. It was just pretty casual. It was chill. It was fine, right? I liked it a lot.
Yeah.
It was outside of Numos, which was really cool. You know, they played, and that was great. And I was like, oh my god, whoa, that's really cool. And then the Gins played, and I loved that because I was a bit of a Nirvana head with Carter there. And I was like, okay, yeah, that's really cool. I want to talk to them. I want to interview them or something like that. I was like, because we had both kind of like talked about it beforehand. We were like, yeah, that would be cool. Like, imagine like doing that, like what Nardwuar does. That's cool, right? So we were just like Nardwuar fanboys, and it was like, yeah. And then a few shows later, we go to Real Art. We go to Little Fest 24. We see Stargazy Pie, Milk Crate, and Hot Stepmom. Those were the three that really stood out to us. I know there were other bands, but again, it was so long.
I mean, those are three.
Those
bands.
were really, I would argue, the big three at that time.
Yeah.
For the scene.
For sure. As far as their stage presence, their caliber, the level that they're playing at.
Yeah, their reach. Who knows them, right?
For sure.
And stuff like that.
What does punk mean to you?
Well, punk. Okay, well, I was talking about it earlier. Now I forgot. Well, I think punk. I think it's an ideology. I remember someone talked about it being an ideology.
A lot of
on your
people,
show.
yeah.
And I think that's really great. It's a leftist ideology specifically, and not an authoritarian one. A libertarian socialist ideology when it comes to that. So it could be anarchism, it could be syndicalism, it could be anything as long as it affects like going against the status quo being the capitalist hierarchy that we live in and that actively led to the creation of punk rock, right? Because it started originally with a lot of reggae, a lot of oi in the street punk scene in England, right? And you had the trad skins, like the traditional skinheads. They were really the first punks because they weren't racist. They were working class things. And then that split happened when there was a lot of immigration happening in England from the Indian subcontinent, so that being India, Pakistan, stuff like that. And then they kind of split between the people who were anti-immigration and the people who were pro-immigration. Like, hey, these are just more workers. This is our workers thing. And then people say, oh no, original skins they weren't political. Workers' rights are political. I think that's another thing. So punk in general is, it's leftist because its origins were in leftism and in workers' rights advocacy and anti-authoritarianism because that actively hurts the proletariat, right? So I think punk is it's leftism. It's unapologetic and it's intolerant. It's intolerant. I think when we were at Cal Anderson, I don't know if Joey was there.
I wasn't there.
Joey was there. I don't know if he told you, but there was a lot. There was brutality from the police, from the SPD. SPD is crazy. They had the most officers show up for the January 6th riots to riot out of any police department ever. They had 4, which is wow. Okay.
Yeah.
and I don't think any of them are out of the force. I might be wrong on that one. But
there's at least still a few in the force. Yeah.
Yeah, they just identified most of them that were at Cal Anderson. But no, they completely brutalized people. And then it's called a riot. And then they're like, wow, so much for the tolerant left. Who has ever said the left was tolerant? I don't think I've ever genuinely heard that because most of the left is a bunch of punks. I feel like we're like some of the most intolerant people. Some of the most intolerant people there is.
Define intolerant.
Intolerant, like not letting something happen without it being spoken about or gone against in some way. So like volted. So you can look at, oh my god, you can look at any punk band ever, right? Dead Kennedys, like that's punks fuck off. I mean, that's not them going out and punching Nazis, but that's still them being intolerant of Nazis and saying you're not welcome in our area.
Intolerant as in like standing for your shit and not backing down and not letting people get away with shit.
Exactly.
Not intolerant as in like not tolerant of other people.
Yeah, no, not intolerant as in like, oh, I hate other people.
Right.
Intolerant as in, I hate hate. That's
Right.
another great song. I think it's Reagan Youth, right?
I
think that's, dude, I love Reagan Youth. Oh, I can talk about Reagan Youth. Oh, I like Reagan Youth. They actually, I know they're not straight edge, but they were a band that introduced me to Teen Idols, who was my first straight edge band.
Okay.
And then that introduced me to Minor Threat, and then I found like a bunch of the youth crew scene. The youth crew scene stuff was out. I love
Gorilla
Youth
Biscuits.
Crew. Gorilla Biscuits, dude.
Yeah,
Oh
dude.
yeah. I talked to just about I talked about them to Politician's Eyes. Anthony, when he was making the logo, he made the logo, and it's PE. And then after he's like, oh, I just made the Gorilla Biscuits logo with the P, because it's just a circle and it has the P and the. I think it looks dope as hell, and I think it's like, I think a bunch of bands do that though.
Yeah.
I was in a band, Alligator Tears, where it's like a duo with my buddy Anthony, different Anthony. I think we might do it when he's permanently in Washington instead of switching between Washington and Texas. But our whole thing was, it was literally just an A and then a T and then like an alligator's like the weird pupil, that in the middle. It looked pretty cool. It looked pretty, it's somewhere in my phone.
I mean, are you really a DIY punk band if you're not in some way either straight ripping off or paying homage with your logo or your graphics?
That's fair. that's fair.
So you mentioned it. Now let's get into it. Straight edge. Why straight edge? What is it about straight edge? Why are you straight edge, and why are you such a proponent of the scene and the ideology, and what exactly defines it to you? Because a lot of people have different, some people are, have different definitions of straight edge. Some people, some people consider that it has to be vegan. Some people consider that you can't have sex. I mean, it's just, there's a lot of different degrees that people consider straight edge. So what is it for you and why?
Okay, I'm kind of baseline straight edge. I think a lot of straight edge elitists would call me a poser.
Okay.
I don't do drugs. I don't do alcohol. I never will. Right. I drink caffeine. I had a coffee this morning. It's not a mind-altering drug.
Yeah.
Right. I don't go against medications. Like, do your medication. I haven't ever needed any. I've struggled with depression. I've struggled with anxiety. I was recommended that, a doctor recommended me, like, hey, maybe you should get into antidepressants. I said, okay, well, I'll see. And then I got into the music scene, and that helped me so much. That was like one of my biggest things. I was struggling with all these, suicidal thoughts, and then I got into the scene, and I had something to look forward to, and I got into moshing. That was a great way to get my aggression out.
Yeah.
And I was like, wow, this is great. And I can't say too many things without like incriminating myself. I tried, and I didn't like it. I said, this is not for me at all, and it never will be. So I don't have any issue with the marine stuff. It's not for me, right? When it comes to alcohol, I've never drinking it. I've never had it. I've maybe had a sip to oh, what's this taste like? Not like I wanna get hammered. But it's only ever been for that. I hate it. I hate alcohol because I have so many issues with it in my family. Not that it brought any violence in my family. My family has no history of any violence, which I'm very grateful for. But alcohol has been the root of so many arguments, and it's just why would I ever want to do that?
Yeah.
I feel uncomfortable when people are drunk around me, so it's just if I hate being around this thing, why would I do this?
Right.
So I hate alcohol. I hate hard drugs in general. I'm underage, right? So that's a big one.
Yeah.
But I hate it when I have people close to me and they've been into stuff like that, and they talk about why they got into weed, why they got into nicotine, and it's always these sad reasons. I was in a dark place, I was in that, and it's okay, so it's this unhealthy coping mechanism. I don't want to be part of that.
Right.
I don't know. It's just this general. I don't like it because it's bad. It's this surface level thing.
Yeah.
It makes me uncomfortable. I think drugs like that, like any hard drug is illegal for a reason. I don't even like the law that much. I wouldn't consider myself an anarchist, but I'm definitely close to that ideology, and I think there are so many great things about anarchism. When it comes to drugs, we understand that they're bad for a reason. We understand that those can damage us mentally. You kill your neurons. What is it? Cocaine, well, whatever, right? So you get a hole in your herb palate. All these things that destroys your body. It's like, okay, why do I want to do this? Why do I want to put this in my body? And I educate myself on these things, and I don't like them.
Yeah.
So that definitely led me to straight edge, and I don't know. When it comes to vegan straight edge, I don't know if I could ever do that. Man, I really like milk and cheese and honey. I don't know.
I hear you.
Yeah, I really love cheese. I'm not gonna lie, I do. it's bad.
Cheese is your drug. Yeah.
Exactly, right? And bread. I don't want vegan bread. I like my sourdough. Okay, I like my sourdough and my cheese, and I'll put everything else on it. I could be vegetarian. I could be vegetarian, but never vegan.
Yeah.
Too much for me, but I respect the hell out of most vegan straight edge people, not the hardliners. I know hardliners, yeah. I don't like hardliners because I've seen people who are like, oh, I'm a hardliner. No, you're not. Go away.
No, hardline is like, oh, you eat meat? Fuck you. I'm gonna kick your ass.
Exactly. Oh yeah.
Yeah.
It's like, okay, whoa, and they got like really homophobic toward the end. They were like beating up like gay people.
Yeah.
Whoa, okay.
Yeah.
Fuck.
Sometimes it goes weird places, man.
It does, and it's
People's ideologies.
It came from the Just Say No thing, and then a bunch of those people with those, because that was launched by Republicans, right?
Yeah. Reagan. Yeah.
So a bunch of those people went into the scene, and they're like, yeah, just say no, straight edge, they're the same thing. No, they're not. Stay away. It's definitely, I would argue, predatory behavior to the scene, and it's the whole scene in itself, whether they're vegan or not, it's horrible, right? But also, I didn't know Republicans were very, there are definitely types of Republicans who are pretty, animal rights. I didn't know that. I didn't know it was a thing. I think the mayor-elect for New York right now, the Republican mayor-elect, he is really into animal rights and getting rid of that. So it's like, okay.
I think that points to an oversimplification of the idea of the two parties, and you have to be this to be Republican, you have to be this to be left-leaning, Democratic, and it's never that simple.
Yeah.
That's the root of all the problems in our society right now, is that the need to oversimplify things and polarize that. No, I am only this, and because I'm only this, I can't be that. There's so much middle ground, so much gray area.
I don't really necessarily change my ideology a lot. I used to consider myself fully a syndicalist. Now I've studied a lot of what Trotsky wrote. I think or not studied a lot of it, but from the general concepts, I would say, I could be a Trotskyist. I could see that, right? The global revolution and the anti-Stalinist rhetoric, I think that's great. I don't like Stalin at all. I don't like the communism in one nation, because, what was it? Firebrand, communists, they said that you can't have communism with just one communist, so why would you have communism with just one country? I have my tips about them. I do. I definitely have some disagreements with Firebrand, especially on their views on Zoran Mondani and reformist socialists and democratic socialists, right? Because they say, oh, no, democratic socialism is capitalism. That's social democracy. I think people often mix that up, because social democracy is... That's socialism, right? It's called social democracy. It's not democratic socialism. Democratic socialism is just socialism put in through democracy. I think that's a good thing, right? That's what Luxemburg had written about. She's often called a Marxist, so it's on par with Marx. I don't know. I could talk about leftism all day, but that's my take on all that.
Do you play an instrument?
I do. I play guitar, and I want to get into bass really bad.
Okay.
I play 7-string.
Oh.
And
Mr. Fancy Pants.
Oh yeah, I know.
Yeah, you gotta have more strings.
And that was because of Korn. And I remember one time I was like, oh damn, how does Korn do that? Like how do they get that sound? Like, I want that. And I've always liked Ibanez. My first guitar was a Fender. I love the guitar, don't get me wrong, but Fender is not it. Ibanez had the 7-string, the GRG 7221. I remember, and it was this great guitar. It's this like white guitar. It's pretty simple with all that. It doesn't have a whammy bar, sadly. I think a 7-string with a whammy bar would be cool, but I can't find it. And I believe Korn uses one. At one point, I think they did. If not, they used another Ibanez 7-string. Mm-hmm. There were a few. And I used that a lot, and I down-tuned it. Right now, it's in this tuning, and it falls under the A Hungarian minor.
Okay.
For all my friends, and if they even will check this out when I tell them to. It's like friends from school. They're gonna be like, "Oh my God, is he talking about the A? Is he talking about the Hungarian minor scale again?" I really like it. I think it's a cool scale. It sounds really cool. It's like, okay, you know, like Korn's general feel, mm-hmm. right? And you know, like I don't know if you ever, what could you compare them to? I would compare them to Fly More. I would compare them a lot to Brick, right? That general kind of that eerie kind of Batman Beyond-esque.
Yeah, there's a lot of like flat fifth happening mm-hmm. in minors and a lot of funk. Yeah, I don't know. See, when you're making those comparisons mm-hmm. to those other bands, like you're kind of seeing it like from kind of like the back end of Korn. I'm looking at it from like, I remember when Korn first came out. Yeah. And I had never heard anything like it before. It was mm-hmm. like, wow, this is weird. I mean, Blind. That was their first single. And I mean, there was things that it was kind of like, you know, there was like Faith No More was around, you know, there's some crossover there. Tool was also kind of starting to get up off the ground at the same time. Mm-hmm. Definitely some crossover there with the early stuff. Yeah. But it was just like this whole like alternative metal thing happening. Caius, you know Caius?
Maybe.
Okay, get to know Caius.
Okay.
We'll do. Yeah, and then somehow it morphed into what became new metal later along the way. But anyways, are you a music student?
I'm not, actually.
Okay. Are you self-taught guitar?
Kind of. Okay, so I was in guitar class for half a semester, 2/3 of a semester, and then I moved schools, and then they did not have guitar there, so they put me in art 2. I hadn't been in art 1, so they just kind of threw me in there at the end of it. Like literally, it was, oh, you're here now? Cool. Here's an assignment, and then our final is due in a few weeks. Whoa, okay, cool. Dope. Yeah, right. I did fine. I got like a B on it, so I was like, okay, cool. I guess art isn't that hard. I draw well. Not well, but I draw. I can follow instructions. But no, besides that, no. It was just that like a little bit with some MAGA guitar teacher. I didn't even know he was MAGA until like the end of it. He was like, I just think Trump is going to save our country. It's guitar class. Teach me skills, please.
Teach me guitar, guy.
Okay, cool. Tell me about all of the things.
Yeah,
you know, like
just not that.
Just not that, please. He doesn't play guitar. What is this?
What is the best concert you've been to?
Oh, that's hard. Okay, whoa.
It doesn't have to be like the best, but
I know.
Like,
shoot. Okay.
Name one of your favorite concerts that you've been to.
The barn show, like Kapala's barn show, was cool as hell.
Where was that?
It was at Mia's barn. Like she has a barn outside her house, and it was just there. I don't know. I just
like a house show. When? How long ago was that?
Oh, that was last year. That was like last summer. It was like August last summer, I think.
Okay.
Yeah. That's where I met Anthony from Politician's Eyes.
Okay.
That's also where Politician's Eyes met Anthony from Politician's Eyes. That's apparently how they got together. They talk about that in the interview too.
Nice.
Wow, I'm just really repping this interview.
I mean, it's probably out now. Go check it out.
I hope it is. It probably is. But yeah, no, it's a really good show. I dislocated my thumb, which kind of sucked. That's also where I met my buddy Cash. Cash and Anthony were both at Cal Anderson with me. That was a really fun experience. We actually we also had a water balloon fight in the mosh pit at the Cal Anderson show. That was probably another one of my favorite ones. But that one, it was like a 4-person pit. It was me, my friend Anthony, the Anthony that did Alligator Tears with me. So me and him, and then it was Cash, and then the other Anthony. Which odd coincidence, right?
Too many Anthonys in the band.
You have a pit with 4 people, and half of them are named Anthony. That's
Yeah.
I don't know. I think that's interesting. And yeah, we all talked because Cash rolled his ankle, so we were both outside. We were both taken care of by Mia's
Dangerous
mom.
pit with only 4 people on the
Yeah,
stage.
it was bad.
Yeah.
It was me and Cash moshing with each other most of the time too. So it was a 2-person pit most of the time, and we injured each other.
That's just a fight, isn't it? That's just sparring.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
I don't know, he like grabbed me. It's a thing he does a lot with people, but I'm short. I'm 5'5". He's like 6. He's 6 something, right? And he grabs me with arms like this, right? And then he spins me, and then he launches me, and I'm like, oh yeah, I wonder how I dislocated my thumb, because I landed on this arm, so I must have like had my thumb weird. I don't know, because it just started hurting like randomly, like after that pit. I was like, oh. But it was like 3 pits after too, and I hadn't been doing anything in those 3 pits. So I don't know. But yeah, so I just had to go outside. I was taken care of with an ice cup, and I just had my thumb in it. That one was great, and I have these like good pit stories, and they're always Kapala shows, and I just seem like this like total fanboy.
Bloody nose at the tattoo shop.
Oh my god!
Yeah.
I don't know if you're allowed to show that on wherever you're gonna. You put it on Spotify too. Right?
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know if videos are on Spotify, right?
They do like short videos. So
Okay.
I don't know. There's this whole thing.
Whatever it is, I don't know if you can show it on everything, but I'll send you the picture of my.
I have a picture of it.
You do?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, you do.
Yeah.
You do.
Yeah.
Yeah, of my horrible nose,
Yeah.
and how I looked disoriented. I
You
looked
were
at my
a bloody
eyes.
mess coming out of there.
I
Yeah.
was, and the amblyopia really didn't help. Because this eye is lazy. That's why I'm wearing my glasses, so it doesn't like look like I'm looking that way. the whole
Lazy eye
time.
gang.
Exactly. Right. I've been disoriented. That's what it is. I'll be honest. I don't know what it was. The new sound system that Real Art has really threw my brain for a loop.
I have yet to experience it. I'm looking forward.
It's
to it.
really good.
Yeah.
It's really great.
Tom doesn't fuck around.
No, he doesn't. I love it. He
I love
was.
Tom.
Yeah. No.
Love Tom.
Also straight edge.
Also straight edge.
Also straight edge.
Yeah.
Where are you straight edge? I know it's your show, but we'll talk about it on my end too.
You know, I was hesitant to call myself straight edge, but fuck it, I am. I used to drink. I've smoked weed before. I used to smoke cigarettes, and I used to drink. Casually, like literally, like a couple beers most every day, like to that point. And first was the weed. I stopped smoking weed like 20 years ago.
Yeah.
Stopped smoking cigarettes in 2012, I think it was 2011. I just got sick of it, and I was just like, I can't do this anymore. And so I just quit.
Yeah.
I was just like, I'm done. I quit. It took me about a month of not buying any, not having any, and then like, dude, can I borrow a cigarette? And then that got really old, so that helped me because I hardlined. I was stubborn as hell. I was like, I am not buying any more cigarettes. I quit.
Good. Yeah.
So then
Cold turkey.
Yeah, it wasn't cold turkey because it was like, hey, can I get a cigarette off you?
Oh.
But I feel bad doing that. So then that helped to just finally like, no, I don't want to ask somebody for a cigarette. I'm not going to buy any, so I guess I'm not smoking.
Yeah.
So yeah, after about a month, that was completely gone, and I don't miss it at all. Like smoking sucks, dude. Like, don't smoke cigs; they fucking suck.
Tell it to half the scene.
Yeah,
that's what you're doing.
Cigs are coming back. Like
They
people-
are.
Yeah, it's cool to smoke. all of a
Only
sudden.
in the punk scene I've seen. I haven't seen anyone else.
Yeah.
Everyone else is like, yeah, man, I'm vaping. I would argue vaping is more dangerous.
Because you don't know what the hell is in it. Yeah.
Yeah.
And then the alcohol, like that stuck with me for a long time. I just was really just into drinking beer. And I tried to rationalize it and tried to like, oh, I'm not drinking cheap beer anymore. I'm just going to buy the more bougie, expensive beer, so that way I'm drinking less because it's more expensive, and I'm doing it for the taste or whatever, but I mean, that's bullshit.
That's easy.
Because it tastes like shit anyways. And, eventually I just like, it was on my birthday, 2021, 2022? I think 2021. I just, I woke up the next day and I was just like, fuck, I don't want to drink anymore. And my kids were, like in their, teens by that point, middle school, high school, and I'm just like, this is not even setting a good example. Why would I do this? Like, true, yeah. I'm not like, out there wilding out or getting in trouble, getting arrested, DUIs. Never had any problems with that. Never had any, violence issues, associated with drinking.
Yeah.
But it was just, like, why am I letting this, be a crutch for me? Why am I letting this kind of run my life to the point where I'm like, every day I'm like, oh, I'm off work. Hey, might as well have a beer, right?
Yeah.
And it, I didn't want to continue to live like that and to show my kids that that's okay. I didn't want it to be normalized for them because I have family history of other people in my family and also my wife's family that do have or had problems with alcohol to much worse extents. And it's so easy to slip into that and to fall into that trap. So why would I, encourage that? So I quit that. That was just like, I woke up that day and I'm like, I'm not gonna drink anymore. And I didn't, and I haven't since. Not even once.
Yeah, I think it's interesting when I hear people talk about like, oh, I don't drink anymore, or why they don't drink or whatever. It always has to do with some type of like family, whether it's this person directly affected me, or there are issues like this could affect someone else. I don't know. I just think it's really interesting. I'm sure there are stories where it doesn't have anything to do with family, but I think that's an interesting thing. I think that says a lot about like family and its power and its dynamic that it has for people. There are so many different dynamics. I mean, hell, I talked to my girlfriend about her family and versus my family. It's completely different.
Yeah.
There's so many different things.
But I've always said I'm dad first, dad and husband first, and then everything else is after that. And it finally got to the point where I realized this is drinking is going against that really.
Uh-huh.
And, not to the point where it was like ruining my marriage or, like affecting my kids in a, very, direct way or anything, but it was just like, it's just not good, man. It's not a good look.
Yeah.
And, plus the health, makes you sick. It's a poison.
Yeah, no, it is. Yeah.
So,
it's like the only poison that attacks every organ.
Yeah. So, it came to a point in my life where I stopped trying to rationalize it. I stopped trying to make excuses for doing it. And I just decided, no, I'm not going to do it anymore. I'm done. And, I'm notoriously stubborn when it comes to that. When I made my mind up on something, that's it.
Yeah.
I'm done. That's what I'm doing, or that's what I'm not doing. I've done it, so that's it. So that's, and, I'm finally okay with, just saying, like I used to say, like, I don't drink. I don't like to use the word sober or anything like that because that like implies that it was way worse than it was.
It does. I feel like it does. It's like you're sober. It's like
you used to be really bad, huh?
Yeah.
You're walking on eggshells now. I don't do it anymore. And born again straight edge.
There you go. Right.
Sure.
There you go. Yeah.
Sure.
Born again straight edge.
Yeah. So. Getting back, favorite local bands. If you don't feel weird saying it because of our position, like sometimes when people ask me, I'm like, depending on who I'm with, I'm like, I don't really want to say I like one band more than another. I mean, it's perfectly normal to have preferences. Mm-hmm. I mean, like in the field that we're in, you have to be objective, and you have to, but at the same time, like you could say like, dude, I just fucking love this band.
I do. I'm gonna talk about Kapala again.
You will get no arguments from me. I love Kapala.
No, I love Kapala so much. They're great. I also really like the addition of Ben, and that's not to say that the past drummer was Ben.
No, he was a great drummer.
I just think Ben is also really cool.
Ben has a certain energy that he brings to a project. Mm-hmm. And, it's not just his insane drumming skills, but it's also his personality.
Yeah. I remember, I think it was either his first show with Kapala at Riller or his second show. And I remember I was like, what are they feeding him? This is great. This is good as shit. Oh my God. Yeah. Right? It felt like different drumming. I don't know. Maybe it wasn't. Maybe it was different tabs. Maybe it was the same tabs. I don't know. But it felt different, right? And it was this
he plays with an intensity that
It
is
is
unmatched by virtually anybody in the
genuinely.
scene. Yeah.
And I think
there's
that's
some badass drummers out there, but there's
Ben's up there.
few that are that good that play with that intensity.
Yeah, and I think, Kapala. I used to be really big Hot Stepmom head. I haven't been listening to them recently, but I know everyone I bring into the scene has a Hot Stepmom phase.
Right. Yeah, I mean, they're kind of like a gateway for the scene. They're very accessible. They're a very good band. Very
That's what
good
I was
band.
telling you
And
before, yeah.
and they're also they're easy to watch. They're easy to listen to.
Yeah.
I've seen Hot Stepmom I think like 11 times.
I think
And-
that's how many times I've seen Kapala.
Yeah. And like the sets are pretty close to the same most of the time, you know, for Hot Stepmom. And there's certain things like I know, like, okay, this is gonna happen now. But they manage to vary things every show. Like even just like the song arrangements, they, you know, like the fills and little things that they do in certain parts of the songs, it changes and they evolve. And that's cool. It keeps it really fresh. And so even though I've seen them 11 times,
it's different.
yeah, it's every time's been different.
And I like they did Killing in the Name.
Yeah,
I was
that was a show ender almost every single show.
really
Yeah.
really okay.
I don't know if they're still doing it because I haven't seen them in a while. But
I've oddly only seen it twice.
Really?
I saw them at Art on the Ave. They did it.
yeah, that was legendary.
That was such a good. And the comp was right there.
I got a great video of that.
I did too. Yeah. That was really cool. They had a couple slow dance to one of their songs too. That was great.
Yeah.
I think Anna talked about that on one of your interviews, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, because I remember hearing about that.
Yeah.
Was that recent? Was that a recent interview, or was that a while ago?
It was about a month ago. Month and a half. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, not
Okay,
long ago.
it was like recent. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's why it was fresh in my mind. I was like, no way, I remember that far for Good City Punk. What?
Yeah.
And I was like, out of all these, I remember that.
The first time I saw Hot Stepmom was at Real Art. It was Ugly Sweater Party, Christmas 2023. And on that day, like literally when we were driving to the show, the news came out from the Tacoma courthouse that the officers that had killed Emmanuel Lewis. Future Jeremy here. Quick correction. The man's name was Manuel Ellis. He was killed during an arrest by 3 Tacoma police officers in March of 2020. The trial was in December of 2023, and on December 23rd of 2023, all 3 officers were acquitted. So anyways, the cops were on trial for that.
Yeah.
And it was that day, and while we were driving to the show, it just came across the news that they acquitted all 4. And I was just like, fuck.
Yeah.
Wow, you know? And, I mean, I remember the fucking, Rodney King riots in Los Angeles. I mean, I wasn't there, I was here. But I mean, I remember that. And I just, and there's been so many, fuck the George Floyd protests, I mean, the riots in St. Louis and protests, I should call them police riots in what was it, 2015 in St. Louis? So I mean, like, obviously, like, this wasn't as big in the, media and just in the overall zeitgeist.
But it was that local.
It was that local, and I was just thinking, fuck, holy shit, like, I wonder if shit's gonna be popping off, downtown. And I was like, wow, this is, just my head was just like circling around all these different possibilities. And then I get to the show, and it was my first time seeing local bands at a local show. And it was just, it was a great show. Fucking fantastic. Hot Stepmom, they were the last on, and their encore was Killing in the Name of. And I didn't know that that was like a regular thing for them.
Yeah.
But like,
I didn't either. I feel like
but from my perspective, standing there still thinking about this fucking, police brutality thing that had just, came across the news, and like watching Anna up there just saying, just fucking covering that Rage song, I'm like, oh my God. And like, it was like, that cemented it for me. I was like, this band, they are keyed into like the same fucking wavelength as me, holy shit. And I talked to Anna after the show, And I told her, that I made that relation right there, and she was just like, this song, really means a lot every time we play it. And I was just like, okay, wow, and so that always like makes a connection to me whenever I see Hot Stepmom, whenever they play that song. Like, I remember that. And I had heard some people saying like, oh, here they go playing the Rage Against the Machine song again. I don't give a shit. You watch the crowd every single time.
Yeah.
It fucking goes off, right? So anyways, that was just, I guess that like cemented my feeling of purpose in this scene. Was just that moment. That happened to be my first local show, with the current scene. And, that happened. I just, had that moment and it cemented. I'm rambling. This is me reviewing you.
That's cool.
Okay.
I was listening. That does remind me, I have heard them a few times. It was Paula who had covered that song that I had only heard once or twice. That was what I was thinking of.
Okay.
I really... Sorry, well, I probably seem like such a fanboy.
Don't apologize to Paula. Don't fucking apologize to them.
Yeah, that's fine.
Yeah.
I still have to get that interview with them. I won't lie.
I had so much fun with my interview with Anya. It was talking about 11th Street Bridge.
Yeah, 11th Street
DIY show
yeah.
that you were putting on August 2nd.
August 2nd.
It may have already happened. Sorry. Maybe it's coming up. If it's coming up, go.
Yeah, I think it's gonna be really fun because it's some really good bands. Okay, so it's Primal Beast, who I've not seen, but I've seen some of the recordings. They're great, right? Margaret Sick, I love Margaret Sick. I met Ryan at a karaoke night at Real Art. That was really funny. I remember that. And he had these really good vocals. I forget if it was False Chords or Fries, just a long time ago, and it was karaoke. I don't think anyone's gonna be like, oh, I remember the exact style that you were using at karaoke. But it was some pop song or something like that he did, and we met like that. But that was our first interaction. I got his tag, and he's like, yeah, no, but I'm in this, I think he like mentioned it, or it was like some other way that he mentioned it, but I remember him mentioning, he's like, oh yeah, I'm in this emo band, or like really kind of Midwest emo, mathy kind of stuff, or not mathy, he just said it was like Midwest emo, and I was like, okay, yeah, no, I'll check it out. And I did, and I was like, wow, I really like this. I'm kind of obsessed with them. So that's another one of my favorite bands.
Yeah.
I'm trying to remember my lineup. Petra's headlining. Oh, Concrete Island.
Concrete Island, okay.
Concrete Island. I was like, I've talked to them, and I really like who was it? It was in between Concrete Island and Sunbather Die. So, and they know each other. That's why I was confused. I talked about Concrete Island in my interview with Sunbather Die. That's recently out. It took me a bit. I was in charge of putting that one out, and I was late. To be fair, it was because the video was too long for Instagram, because they like recently did a thing where it's like, no, it can't be over 3 minutes.
Yeah.
Fuck you, Instagram. I only put out my video, my 6-minute and 54-second interview. So I can't have 2 3-minute interviews. I had to cut it into 3 parts, each of them being like varying lengths and in between questions, and it took me a second. It took me a hot second. I had to get my other editor, Finn. I had to get him. I was like, hey, do you still have that video? And he's like, yeah, it's the last day before my phone deletes it. And I'm like, oh, okay. Can you send that over twice? And he's like, yeah, sure. So he sent it over twice, and then I edited it to like clip it, because I wasn't gonna ask him randomly. I was like, hey, I need you to clip this by today. I just did it myself, and it was fun, and it turned out great. Yeah, exactly. So I got that done, and then we mentioned Concrete Island on there. Anyways, about that show, right? We're calling it like Fever Dream on 11th Street, kind of like Nightmare on Elm Street.
Yeah.
Because Petra's headlining. Have you ever seen Petra live?
I have not.
They're from California. They're really great. They reached out. They're like, hey, we're coming back to Tacoma. We had an interview with you. We would love to have you guys help us with a show. And I'm like, okay, cool. And I, like, okay, what genres are you thinking? And they're like, okay, well, kind of like hardcore adjacent. I was like, okay. So I really picked adjacent when it came to everything. I was like, I can't find any argument.
Yeah.
that would want
With
to.
a hardcore lineup. So you're into a lot of different genres. You're into a lot of hardcore bands, a lot of like youth crew, straight edge hardcore bands.
Yeah, I have a whole series on TikTok talking about that.
Yeah, you should put those on YouTube so I can watch them.
I will.
Yeah. So outside of like the local scene, what are some of your favorite bands?
That's hard.
I mean, in your heart of hearts, what are your top bands? Like, I mean, I know,
top
like,
bands right now.
like, yeah, like me, I love a ton of bands. Like, I can't even keep track. But there's, like, if somebody asked me what are your favorite bands, I could easily give you like 2 or 3.
Okay.
So,
Snot,
okay.
number 1. I love Snot. I love Snot. And hopefully, if my girlfriend watches this, she will be very annoyed by me. Snot. I talk about them a lot and Lynn Straight. But no, I stand by the fact that they are definitely one of the greatest metal bands to come out of the Bay Area, being a famous one, right? And specifically metal, because I know Primus came out of there. I don't.
Better than Metallica? Like 80s Metallica?
Okay.
I mean,
You might hate me for that, but okay, they had one album, okay? Out of that one album, if you take the sum of all of the parts of that album and you take the sum of all of the parts of all of Metallica's album, Snot does not miss once. They have no song that misses. I stand by that.
I will say Kill 'Em All,
Kill 'Em All is okay. Wait.
straight bangers.
Shit.
All the way through. Ride
Okay,
the Lightning,
okay.
straight bangers all the way
Okay.
through. Master of Puppets, bangers all the way through. Fucking Injustice for All, bangers all the way through. Black Album, still great songs, but I mean, way overplayed.
Injustice for All is my favorite.
starting to work out of the thrash genre and into something else, and that's kind of where it stops for me.
And then they stopped being good. Yeah.
I mean, they're still a
but
good
like-
band. They just stopped making music that I was interested in.
Yeah.
Because I mean, like their live performances are still incredible.
Oh no, for sure.
Yeah.
I think they're definitely one of the best live performing bands ever.
Yeah.
Better than Guns N' Roses.
Okay. So Snot.
Yeah, Snot.
Okay.
See, 7th grade me would have said Metallica.
Okay.
I have 256 like songs by them, which I didn't know. They don't have 256 songs. It's like their albums and then the deluxe version. I just like every song of this. No, I was like really into them for a while, so
Yeah.
that's why I'm kind of like burnt out on them. I'm still.
It happens,
It's
yeah.
a 2-year burnout.
I went on a deep Metallica dive maybe last year or the year before. Digging into like the deluxe editions with the demos and the live stuff, and after a while it's like, okay, I'm done for 2 or 3 years.
Yeah,
I'll get back to it.
I think the And Justice for All deluxe edition, the one with all the live versions, is not only is And Justice for All their best album, in my opinion, that is their best deluxe, purely because of the lives being so good. They're just so good. Oh yeah. Back to the bands. Okay.
Right.
Snot, Beastie Boys.
Beastie
I
Boys.
love Beastie Boys. Oh my god.
Yes. Have you been listening to the? Have you ever heard of the Dad Bod Rap Pod?
No. What? What's that?
Okay, it's a podcast with 3 dudes from California. They're old heads. They talk about hip hop. They interview people and they talk about stuff. They're doing a series right now on Beastie Boys. They're doing a deep dive through their discography.
That's cool.
So
I'm
they
really
just
into-
finished Hello Nasty. They're going in order. Great podcast series. You should listen to it.
Got you.
I love Beastie Boys.
Me too.
Beastie Boys.
Paul's
are-
Boutique is my favorite album by them.
Okay.
That's my favorite.
I would have to say Check Your Head is my favorite.
That's reasonable. I
Yeah.
need to check them out more. I used to be really into them, and then I got. Really
Have you
into
heard the pre-licensed to ill stuff when they were a hardcore band?
I have.
Okay.
I have. I
All They
really
Wants
like that
To,
stuff. Yeah.
Some old bullshit.
I was really into that for a
Yeah.
while, and then that's when I found straight edge, and then I got like really into straight edge.
Okay.
So I was kind of finding a bunch of hardcore at the same time through different means. I just so happened to keep going to hardcore. I love hardcore, and I love classic hardcore. I'm not like a big guy on beatdown. I don't like beatdown personally. It's just like it's too much into metal for me. Where it's like, that's not that I don't like metal. Snot's my favorite band. But it's like, this isn't hardcore anymore. This is just metal that has hardcore influences. That's what beatdown. I firmly believe that's what beatdown is. I did a whole dive on hardcore subgenres in one of my episodes on TikTok. I think it was per 15, 14. It's a 17-part series, just talking about subgenres. I rebooted it. Not rebooted it, really. I didn't go like back to part 1, but like I redid part 1, and part 1 was specifically about emo subcultures and subgenres. And I was like, okay, well, I did this wrong. I'm gonna do it by waves, and I did it by waves, and that was way more accurate, and it was way better. Oh yeah, bands. I'm getting distracted. Okay. Snot, Beastie Boys. Do they have to be metal or rock?
No.
Okay, cool. Outkast.
Okay.
I
Wow.
love
Okay.
Outkast.
Yeah.
I love Outkast. Okay, that's like my top 3 right now.
Honestly, I woke up this morning. Actually, I think my wife started it this morning because every day. Do you ever wake up with just a song in your head, just randomly that
Yeah.
you haven't heard the song in even years, maybe, but it's just in your head?
I had one recently.
My wife woke up this morning with "I like the way you move,"
Oh, yeah.
and so it's been stuck in my head ever since.
Makes sense.
Yeah.
Outkast.
Outcast.
Stankonia is a great one. Their dual album, I forget the name right now.
Speaker Box Love Below.
Thank you. Yeah, wow, that blew me out of the water. I'm a poser now.
No. It just I guess I was quicker on the draw.
No,
But don't
yeah,
even
yeah.
ask me their first album because I can't say it. It's got a long ass title.
Oh, really? I don't know. I am not really too huge on album names, unless it's my favorite album of all time. And I'm like, yes, I know that one.
What is your favorite album of all time?
Oh, fuck. Right now? Well, right now, okay, because like I know those because they were at one point, or I claimed them to be mine at one point. That's hard. Okay, The Moon and Antarctica by Modest Mouse is a great one. It is art in its fullest form. It's great. Operation Ivy's another one.
Okay.
That's
Yeah.
number 4. And then, dude, I used to be really into Bauhaus. Not as much anymore. I had a cool phase with them. I love Bauhaus. That's how my girlfriend, actually, she was wearing a Bauhaus shirt. I was like, that's a cool shirt. And she's like, oh, wow, thank you. And then we talked about music. And she's like, oh. A lot of the guys at our school, I don't like to use poser a lot. I don't.
It's okay. It's an okay word to use.
They claim to be like alternative, but they weren't into the politics. They didn't understand the music. They fetishize goth women, which is still a huge one I see. Like my girlfriend will post TikToks, and then like people in the comments, wow, that's a goth mom, dude. She's 14.
Besides music, what are you passionate about, man? What are you into? Do you have any like really nerdy obsessions besides music?
Okay, so funny thing, I was just talking about that this morning with Bo, who is in that band. I'll text you the band name after, because I know the band name. I just have brain fart. Right? I was talking to him because he was talking about something. Oh, he's like, yeah, no, dude, my brain is just like filled with memes. So I was like, that's great. Mine is filled with a bunch of like dumb conlanging and role building, and he's like, that sounds cool. Tell me. And I was like, oh, you picked the wrong person, dude. We're the right person, it depends, right?
Yeah, right.
And I talked about it. It's this project I've been doing for 3 years, and I keep retconning everything. So really, in reality, I've been doing this part of the project, this version, for like a year. It's this world, and it's called Medea. It just sounded cool to me 3 years ago, and I was like, oh, cool, that's cool. Now I have to like have an in-world reason it's called that, which kind of sucks. But
I mean, it only has to if you say it has to.
yeah, but I'm working on stuff because I'm conlanging, so that's constructive linguistics is what that is, right? Constructive language. And it's this language, and phonemically, its phonemes are based off of a lot of Romance languages and Arabic.
So you're building a fictional world,
Yeah.
and you're focusing on the language.
Yeah,
like,
right now.
Primarily, right now.
It's on my phone. I can shoot after charging, but it's kind of based off of that. I was learning Spanish because I was just in Spanish class. I have to if I want to graduate. So I like Spanish too. I like linguistics. So I was like, okay, cool. Put me in there. So there's definitely a lot of like grammar that comes from Spanish. Kind of. I don't like how they conjugate verbs. I hate it so much because it's like, oh yeah, you have this, and it's this 2x3, right? Did you ever learn Spanish in school, or did you go? No. Okay, so it's like this 2x3 chart, and we have to learn it, and we're learning, like, you have the infinitive, right? So you have comer, right? That's to eat. That's all I remember. I don't know. I paid attention. I did. I just it goes out.
Right.
I'll know it when I learn it next year again. When I have it in Spanish, though. But and then you have como is I eat. I actually don't know what we eat is. I don't know if it's comemos or comamos or some one of them. Anyways, you have all these things, right? And the second person plural is only used in Spain. What? Okay, cool. We just don't learn it because it's like it's only used in formal speech and only in Spain. That's great. That's wow, Spanish. Thanks. And then all of those have different things for the past tense. Oh, so como is different in the past tense. It's not comio because that's they ate. Right? And then it also depends on what the infinitive ends in. So it's ir, or ar, right? And I think ar gets its own, and then ir and share one. I think.
Anyways,
It's the same thing.
language.
I'm
it's a
passionate
weird
about
thing.
language. I'm
Yeah.
passionate about language. There you go. You wanted me to talk about my passions? There you go. That and then my world.
Cool.
I thought I do. Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah.
All right. Well, this is probably one of the longest interviews I've ever done. So,
That's me. Yeah.
all right. Thanks.
Yeah. No, yeah. That was great. We need to get my phone now.
And that was a very long-winded and often off-topic interview with Zay from Puget Scene Reports, PSR. Go check out all the work that this guy and his friend Carter are doing with Puget Scene Reports. I'll put the links in the show notes. They've got a ton of interviews with various bands, putting out a lot of good content, and a lot more to come. Speaking of what's to come, we've got some concerts coming up. There's a lot of concerts. I'm just going to name off a few here because we're running long and we're running late. So at Real Art on Friday the 8th, which if I play my cards right will be today, get your ass out there tonight before doors open. Sugar Nap, Drop the Star, Sour Fuzz. That's at Real Art Friday the 8th. On Saturday the 9th at Real Art is a big hardcore show. It's the Indecision Records Northwest Showcase with Stay Gold, Odd Man Out, Hardesty, Meantime, Chopping Block, Time X, Heist, Raised Wrong, and Impertinence. That's Real Art Saturday the 9th. Next weekend at the Vera Project, another hardcore show. We've got Away with Words, Miracle, Cherub Chains, Foxglove, Cottonmouth, and Guilt. Also on the same day, if you're in Tacoma, the Slice of Life Pizza is doing a mural unveiling. They had a mural painted on the inside behind where the kind of makeshift stage is. There's going to be some live music, and it's going to be a good time. So show up to that if you're in Tacoma on next Friday on the 15th.
What's up, everybody? This is Mitch from Liability. Punk is a collective term referring to any and all calling out, resisting, and fighting down oppression and oppressors. Punk is the collective voice of the underrepresented. Punk is come as you are, stay if you please, or because you feel it's where you should be.
Mitch from Liability. We love that band. And that's the show. Sorry for being so late with it, but as I said at the beginning, you know, things happen, things come up. It is what it is. Next episode will hopefully, fingers crossed, be on time like a normal episode. I've got an interview with someone's daughter from Seattle. No, it's not just some random person's daughter. That is the name of the band. Someone's daughter. They are from Seattle and they are great. interviewed them. That will be next week. Until then, thanks everybody for listening. Go check out my YouTube page for all of the shows and bands that I've seen and recorded over the last couple of years. Go check out all the bands that I talked about on this episode. Go stream their music. Go buy their music. Go check them out in concert, live, buy their merch. Tell them how much you love them. Tell your friends how much you love them. Tell your friends how much you love them. That's important. So until next time, you know where to find me. You know the socials. I've told you a million times. It's in the show notes. And I will see you at a show. Rainier on the Rise Festival is coming up at Real Art. I'll be there on Friday. Come check out all the bands on Friday and Saturday both. We'll talk about that more next episode. And we're going to send off this show with a band from Tacoma called Hyperviolet. They put out a demo last year. And this is from that demo. This is called Sea Song. Take care of each other. We'll see you around.
This has been a Jiggle Down Productions production.
Broken I'm Zay, and this is Grit City Punk.
I'm Zay, and this is Grit City Punk. I'm Zay, and this is Grit City Punk.